Ah, well, I was just trying to unlock the car, or not to unlock, to unplug the car, and it didn't work because I didn't have my mobile with me. We've got power on the charger, but I couldn't do it. So I've got my mobile now in my pocket and haven't unlocked the car or something, and we try again with the mobile in my pocket. Still nothing. I still cannot unplug the car, even I've got my mobile here in the pocket. I need to go in the app or open the door to wake up the car. This is still not fixed. There we go. Come on, Elon. Yeah, and the other new thing is if you have pin to drive enabled like I have, there's no button here anymore. So after typing the last digit, it automatically disappears and the car is ready to drive. There you go. Welcome back to another episode of Unplugged TV, sunny hot Australia. This morning we are going for a short drive to one of my customers and we test the speed sign recognition from yesterday's update 40.4. Yeah, I can remember that, 40.4. It was quite good yesterday. It recognized all the speed zones totally correct. There was not one mistake. So let's see if this continues today. We will do a fair bit of driving in town, so there will be 30, 40, 50 and 60, 70, 80, pretty much everything. All different speed zones we will have in town, so let's see. So even on my driveway here, it already recognizes it's a 50 kilometer speed zone, which is not correct, because this is 70 kilometers. Now it recognizes the bin and a traffic cone. There's definitely no traffic cone. Come on, Tesla. 50 kilometers still, because there was no speed sign yet. So it doesn't know, and it takes the data from the map. 50 kilometers, which is wrong. Yeah, so it still recognizes 50 kilometers only because there was no speed sign yet on this road. So the car does not know better. And then it falls back to the map data. And here comes our first speed sign of the day. There it is, 80 kilometers. I'm so impressed. It has a little stick and the traffic sign on top of it. It's amazing. It's really good. I like it. And then we go to the next road here and it's 50 kilometers again, which is, I'm not sure. I mean, this was an 80 kilometer zone, so it should be still 80. And then, interestingly, it stayed at 50 all until the highway, but here's a 100 kilometer zone. And it picks it up. It picks it up. The car was always driving only 50 kilometers an hour here on this road, but now it picks up the 100. So we can use autopilot, cruise control, and the car speeds up to 100 kilometers per hour. Never done this before. I mean, 100 is far too fast here anyway. It's a fairly bumpy road with some steep curves in it. And let's see what the car does here in the curve. Let's slow down. Oh, there's another car coming. Yeah, it slows down before the curve. Slows down, slows down. And let's see if it takes this curve. Oh, itchy. Oh, with 65 kilometers an hour, and then it speeds up again. 100. It was always driving 50 kilometers. Oh, this is close to the curb. What are you doing? Slow down. Another curve coming. And there's no line marking here. Lane marking. Yeah, it beeps. Nah, it doesn't do the curve here. Never did. Yeah, another 100. I'm just filming freehand today, so I can show you the road and the dashboard a little bit closer. And there's an upcoming 60 kilometer zone, and the car should already slow down now, but it doesn't know about the 60. Here comes the sign. Yeah, 60 and 60 correctly adapted, but the car is still driving 90, and here's a stop sign coming, which the car will not react to. Yeah, it would just go through. There's no red line here for me because I don't have full self-driving. Of course, this is the cheapest version of a Tesla you can buy. Standard range plus, no FSD, white. I didn't even pay anything for the color. So that's the cheapest you get, but still impressive. So we are now driving off the highway, and it immediately goes to 60. Even there was no sign yet. The sign is over here. So this is again coming from the map data, and this whole roundabout here, this asphalt is brand new. It's so smooth. Very nice. Alright, so this is all 60, this is correct. And here comes another thing. There's a 90 kilometer sign ahead, just on the left hand side there. But the car was going to drive 60, kept on driving 60 for another, yeah, adapted straight away to 90. The car was driving 60 until about here, and then it changed to 90. Again, according to the map data. But now it reads the signs correctly, and from the sign it changes the speed correctly now. Impressive, very good, very nice. Well, it should actually adapt the speed before the sign, not afterwards. So there is always the chance that you get caught with a higher speed, because the car only slows down after the sign, not before the sign. So you should have the speed at the sign, not afterwards. Here, mistake. It went to 60 kilometers, but there was only a 60 kilometer ahead sign. Here's the original 60 kilometer sign. It went down to 60 kilometers just before. Okay, we test this again later on. Yeah, we've got this quite often here in Australia, that you have a 80 kilometers ahead sign, which is a little bit bigger and has this ahead writing underneath. This is just to make people aware that they have to slow down. But the car already reacted on it and slowed down the car at this sign, which is not correct. I mean, no, it's not correct, no. But now here, 60 kilometers, yep, totally fine. Alright, 50 kilometers shown. There's a 60 sign, yep, jumps over straight away. Okay, we put the car in cruise control here. There was another 60 sign. So there should be no problem. Another 60, yeah, coming up correctly. Nice. And right up there, when we leave town, just up there, there was a 80 kilometer zone before, but they limit it to 70 kilometers. But the car was always using the map data and driving 80. See, it has 80 now, but now it reads the sign and goes back to 70. So that is very nice, but it doesn't adapt. Okay, I have to press. Okay, that's fine. And there's an 80 kilometer sign coming. And there it is, and flips over straight away. But I have to press the 80 to adapt it into the set speed. It doesn't do it automatically for some reason. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And this is all called local roads here. 80 kilometers, and there's the 100 sign. Here it comes. Yep, 100, but I have to press the 100 to adapt the speed. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's turn around and go back in. And here's an 80 kilometer with writing next to it, roadworks. Yep, adapts to 80. It does it. Nice. Even it has writing all over the place. It read the sign. And alright, so we're going back into town, 100 kilometer road, and there's the 80 kilometer sign. Yep, adapts correctly and slows down the car, but it takes another 150 meters or so until the car actually reaches the 80 kilometer. There's another 80. Yep. And here we come with a 70 kilometer zone with an orange frame around this sign. Yep, correctly recognized and adapted. So obviously it adapted automatically when you go slower, but not when you go up, then you have to press. This is just a recommended speed, 60, but we are driving 70 at the moment. Okay, push it down to 70. But 70 is fine for this curve, and this butter smooth asphalt here. Ah, that is sexy. Nice. 70 sign, yep, far away from the road. And here we come with a 60 ahead sign again, just right here. Oh no, this is a 60 getting, it says. Okay, it has a writing underneath. 60, yeah, recognized and adapted, perfect. And let's have a look what the car does here when the lane turns into 2 lanes, if it takes the right or the left lane. I did this many times since the last... takes the left lane now, see? Yeah. It looks a bit random what it actually does, though there's no real consistency what the car does when the lane widens and turns into 2 lanes. Sometimes left, sometimes right. It wanted to stop behind this truck here. Oh well, fair enough. Down the speed a bit here. We're still in autopilot, driving back into town. And there's a 40 kilometers sign on the right. Let's see if it adapts. It does. But the speed is still on 57, so it's waiting for this car to turn. So it would speed up to 57 again, which would be fatal. Yeah, it's not driving well in these conditions here. But it has recognized the sign, but didn't adapt the speed to it for some reason. Yeah, the car does not speed up automatically if you come from a lower speed zone. It says 90 kilometers maximum, but it still sits on 62 as it was before. So you need to click here to adapt the maximum speed. But this hasn't changed really, it was the same before the update. Yeah, and here on this country road it reads the map data again to 100, which is correct. But there was no sign so far to 100 kilometers per hour. Here coming from 100 to a 60 zone. Yep, correctly and adapted. So this will be interesting now. We are driving into Forest Hill. 60 kilometer road, and there's a 40 sign there. Oh, it slows already down, but I think this is because of the curve. So 40, 42 it has adapted. And nah, it doesn't do this curve. It never did. This is a 90-degree curve and it's far too fast for that. It tries to take this curve with 40 kilometers per hour. See, this is like 25, 20, 25. You do these turns here. And the car is trying to do it with 40 or 35. It never can drive on these roads here and these curves. And it still cannot. Okay, let's put, come on. Ooh, nice car here. Let's put the car back in autopilot. 40 kilometers is here. There's a 60 kilometer sign, half in the shade. Let's see if it picks this one up. Yep, it does. 60, 60, but it doesn't adapt the speed. So I have to click manually. There's 80 coming. Yeah, it does 80, but I need to adapt manually. And then recommended here is 60, but this car turns. So the car will slow down anyway. Yep. Now comes 90. Yep, 90 correctly. Done. Excellent. Before that the car was driving 80 kilometers per hour here as per old map data. but now it adapts correctly to 90. Fantastic. So 60 is recommended here. Usually the sign, oh yeah, slow down. Flashes. Car's doing 75. Yeah, it could do a little bit slower. It pushes me right into the seat. Then it's back to 90. Let's see what it does here over this hump. Oh, too fast, too fast. Ah, too fast. It did it, but it was too fast. 80 would be appropriate here. And now it brakes for this car. What is he doing? Ah, there was a hard brake. You could actually hear the pedal down there. So it really braked. Back to 90. I think 90 is too fast here for these roads. You cannot really see far. You've got cars coming and going, concealed driveways. So again here, 80 kilometers recommended. It's a 90 kilometer road. Takes it with 90. It drives far more aggressive for the last few updates we got. Yeah, there was an update 30, I can't remember. I made a couple of videos about this where the car really slowed down before the curves, and this was really comfortable. But now it is driving a lot more aggressive, like you can see in this curve here. And hopefully there's a car coming. Yeah, it slows down. It could slow down a little bit more. It's a steep curve. It's still 90 here, but yeah, it just made it. Okay, and again, I'm not a sporty driver. I drive rather slow than too fast. I look after my tires as well. Alright, this is all 90 kilometers. There's another car coming. Damn it. Does it slow down here? It does slow down. Yeah, it slows down. But still too fast. It really pushes me into the seat here to the outside of the curve. It's not nice. So it speeds up to 90, even there's an 80 zone coming. Yep, and adapts automatically because we are getting slower. Alright, and we are now in Lately. There's 60 coming. That's the sign. Yep, 60, 60 does it automatically. Fantastic. Just after the sign. Okay, now I have to take over. And now we've got 40 kilometers. Yeah, that's correctly adapted. And we're driving through Lately Township. Let's see if 40 kilometers is appropriate speed for this town here. May have to slow down a little bit. I just turn it down manually to 30. There are people walking anyway. They're all showing up there. Yeah, you have to be careful here. The crossing. But it still knows it's a 40 kilometer zone because it hasn't seen any other signs so far. Okay, put it back in autopilot. And I'll slow it down again. 40 is too fast here for these roads. Big truck coming. Oh, it heads to the truck. Alright, so 60 is correct. There are still a lot of corner cases, as you can see, where I have to take over manually. This motorbike is coming. There's a 40 kilometer school zone, but it's 10 o'clock. It has just finished, I think. Or is it 9? So 60 is correct. Slows down for this motorbike to turn. Yep, 60. Well, before it showed you the other speed zone here for this school. Let's have a look at the sign. 7 to 9 a.m. So we are 10 a.m. so that's fine. 60 is fine. Alright, we are leaving Lately now. And this was always the car used the map data and drove 60 until Plainland all the way the few kilometers, because it didn't know better. There's a 90 kilometer sign and now it comes up, but it doesn't adapt automatically to a higher speed. There we go, goes to 90. Nice. Didn't do this before. This was 60 as per map data here. Let's see if it sees this sign there. It does. Even again with the writing next to it and the arrow underneath, it reads the sign correctly. So it's good. Because other people have reported it doesn't read the sign correctly when there's writing on it. And I had this only once so far when we went into Gatton and there was a 60 ahead sign. It slowed down at this sign already. But so far, everything else, so 99.5% or something it is now, top. All worked well. And we are now back in Plainland. 60 kilometer sign comes up. Yep, 60. Here's construction site, 40 kilometer. Let's see if it adapts that. It does. Okay, perfect. But you need to steer manually here because we need to go on the other side of the road. Car doesn't do that. No auto steer. Come on. There's a 40 construction sign. Yep, it does the 40. It does. What is it doing now here? This guy is turning. Yep, the car cannot handle that here at all. It would stop in front of the barriers. Yeah, it still wants to try 40 here, it's correct. But here's the 70 sign. Let's see what it does. Yep, 70 recognized but not adapted. There's no one behind me. Yeah, so we are almost back home. I'm really impressed with this speed sign recognition now in the car. It gets rid of a lot of nuisance and a lot of false recognized or false adapted speeds now, which were coming from the map data. And the map only got updated, I think, twice a year or something, in my case. Yeah, I think I downloaded the map twice. So obviously the speed sign recognition is the way to go. You need to look on the road what kind of signs are there and then adapt the speed of the car accordingly. Construction sites, you know, speed zones are changing constantly. I'm still not overly impressed with the driving speed in curves. I think it is far too fast, especially on higher speeds, 80 to 100 kilometers. The speed is far too fast for these curves. And the head is right at one stage, but I think a lot of people have complained then and said the car was too slow. It was slowing too drastically, and other cars were lining up behind them. But I think it is better to drive a little bit slower than too fast, especially in curves on autopilot. Yep, I just turned. You can see the 50 from the map data, but there's the 70 sign just ahead of us, which overrides the map data then. There's the sign coming. Yep, bang, overwritten 70 kilometers, which again is far too fast for this road. 50 is alright. It's a very bumpy road. You need to drive more in the middle of the road anyway, manually, and the car takes all the potholes here, everything. It is not good to drive in autopilot on these kind of roads. So there's a lot to learn for the car. Let's see for the new version of autopilot full self-driving what happens then if the car is actually more intelligent and drives a little bit, well, yeah, on the line here basically, to avoid all the potholes on the left. Alright guys, so far this video from today, this was 65 kilometers testing the new 2020.40.4 with speed sign recognition here in my area. Local roads, highway obviously doesn't work, but highway data is usually correct most of the time. But so far, yep, big thumbs up to the Tesla team again. amazing update, amazing features, and this here in the standard range plus without full self-driving, no FSD. Alright peeps, we see us in the next video. This is Andy from Unplugged TV Australia signing off. You stay charged, and I said this already. Yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.